RDR won. He controlled the grappling. He controlled the pace of the fight. Yes, he did get dropped really bad in the third round, which is kind of why I thought Robert Whittaker won. And Robert did a great job of, putting that pressure on him in the third round and trying to get that finish, but unable to. Just in general, though, it was, RDR has this Dricus du Plessis act, this vibe to him where he's just odd. Right, I was talking to a high school friend of mine, and one of the things that we got to talk to RDR about is like he's got to take a class on how you react to getting hit, because that can lose you fights. And you have people like Michael Bisping, Paul Felder talking about it in the commentary booth. Right, you get hit even with just a little touchy jab, and you kind of react, really strongly. That's gonna look really poor in the judge's eyes. So It was odd because Robert would be hitting RDR a lot, and he would look like Rob of old, moving quick, in and out, in and out. Yes, he did slow down a little sooner than I expected, but he was doing a great job of lunging in, hitting RDR with his 1-2s. But RDR just reacted oddly, but then he would be able to fire back. He'd kind of run away and then just march right back in, controlled the pace, kind of struggled initially. Rob did a great job of defending takedowns throughout the fight. But then, just RDR was just able to control the pace of the fight. And when he did get the fight to the ground, you could see that there was a clear difference. And, there was even one point where Robert Whittaker actually had the opportunity to get to RDR's back, and he let him back up, which was definitely a little bit confusing to me, right? And yes, so like I said, I don't know if this is a robbery. I wouldn't be upset if the fight went to Robert, and I wouldn't be upset if the fight went to RDR. And I think the biggest thing is reaction to punches. One thing that Patty Pimblett changed specifically is he would say that the judges and fans would think he would be getting hit so much, even though that wasn't always the case. So because of the way his hair would be flowing, so he braided it. And now, you can't tell as much, according to him. And I think that if RDR is able to really change that sort of reaction to getting hit, that sort of a ow reaction to getting hit, I think that RDR is going to come somebody who people aren't going to say is so sloppy and so unconventional, which I think he's always going to be unconventional in the striking. And I think he's always going to be very conventional and technical in the grappling. But I just think that if you're able to add that level to your game, RDR may be the one guy that can give Dricus that problem.